All right, so we're going to talk about determining one-sided or one-side continuity using a graph. Last time we spoke about continuity in general, but we can also consider continuity just from one side. It's still essentially the same three-part definition. The first one must apply, that f of a is defined at x equal to a. But then the conditions change when you get to number two, and it all depends of whether you're looking only for right side continuity or only for left side continuity. When you're looking for right side continuity, the symbol will show a plus sign above the a, right? So here, this is basically indicating that the limit as x approaches a from the right side exists, okay? In the other case, it would also mean that the limit as x approaches a from the left side exists, right? So that's what the little indicators mean. That's what the plus and the minus represent. All right, so let's take a look at the question. And the question is saying, is f of x continuous from the right, right? So we only care about continuity from the right side at x equals -2. So in general, the graph does not have continuity because you can see how the limit coming from the left side does not agree with the limit coming from the right side. But we only care, is it continuous on the right side of the graph? So let's take a look. First of all, is f of a defined at x equal a, right? Well, is it defined when x is -2? The question to that would be yes, right? When x is -2, we can see here that when x is -2, we have an output, and that output is +8. All right, so that satisfies definition for part one. Now we have to look, okay, since we're only looking on the right side, does the limit of f of x exist as it approaches from the right side? So if we're approaching -2 from the right side, we're approaching from the right side, are we approaching a certain value, right? And it looks like we're approaching that the limit here is going to be 8. All right, so we have the first part satisfied, part one, which says that f of -2 is defined. It's defined at 8. Part two, the limit as x approaches -2 from the right side exists, right? It does exist, and in fact, it is approaching +8. So now we get to part three. Does the limit from the right side, right, the limit of the function as we're approaching from the right side, does it equal the output when we have f of -2, right? And in this case, it does, right? Since f of -2 is equal to the limit as x approaches 2 from the right side, this would be correct because 8 is equal to 8. So therefore, f of x is continuous from the right side, right? From the right side only. So we would indicate that, yes, we do have continuity in the function when we approach from the right side.